Hi everyone, Nicholas Buffett is here from sunny Cyprus, and as you can see, this tutorial is all about June 2024 paper 3-1, but I'm only going to be solving the web design part of this paper, and this time I'm going to be using Expression Web. Now for the full paper, basically for the spreadsheet part, I've already solved this paper, so if you go into my playlists where I solve complete papers, you will find that, but also if you go in the description of this video, there's a link there where I solve the entire paper, but for the web design part, I use Adobe Dreamweaver. So this tutorial is basically for you guys that use Expression Web for the web design. So let's get started. Okay, so here's our question paper. It's June 2024, paper 3-1. If we scroll down, the first thing that we need to do is to check the files, that we've got all the files, create an evidence document, and then we start with the spreadsheet section. Now, as I said, I'm not going to do all these steps. You can see right now a link popping up, or you can go into the description of this video and you can access the complete tutorial for this paper, which includes all of these steps and the spreadsheet section as well. As I said, I'm only focusing on the web design part using Expression Web for this tutorial. So if we go down, then we've got the file management. Here we have to create a folder and copy the files which we need for the web design part. Again, I've done this part. And then we're going to start from here, the web page part. Okay, so this is where we're going to begin from, and we're going to start using Expression Web. So if we jump over here, we can see here's my folder, J2431. I've created it, and I've added the files it's told me to add. I've got Expression Web open here. Now what I need to do is just, and I'm going to be doing this in every tutorial just to show you the steps of setting up Expression Web. So if you like my setup, if you follow my tutorials, this is going to help you a great deal, especially if you're going to different exam centers and Expression Web might be set up differently for you. So the first thing that I do is go to the panel section at the top, and then from here, I only select the tag properties and manage styles. I only need these two panels. And here they are. This is the tag properties over here, and then my manage styles over here. Now the little ribbons at the top, I'm going to right click anywhere up here. We can see all those ribbons which are available. I only use common style and style application. During the tutorial though, I am going to be using code view and tables, but I remove them when I'm not using them because I just have more space to work with and I've got a better view of my web page as I'm designing it. So that's basically Expression Web set up for me. So let's go have a look at the question paper. So over here it says I'm going to create a new web page called splendid.htm. Let's just copy that, Control C, and save this in my J2431 folder. This page must be created using a single table and work in all browsers. The table must fit 85% of the browser window and have a structure as shown in the diagram below. So there's my table structure I'm going to be creating. Nothing new whether using Dreamweaver or Expression Web. So let's just go back and create that HTML file. So from here, I'm just going to go to File, New, HTML. Here's my HTML file. Now, I do tend to remove all of this clutter at the top that Expression Web adds. So I'm just going to select all of that there. I don't need that line. You don't have to, by the way, you're not going to lose marks. It's just my thing. I don't like having extra things. If they're not there to help me and I'm not using them, then that's fine. Just get rid of it. And in the HTML tag, I'm also going to get rid of this ww3 org thing. Okay. The meta content here, which is the character set, you can leave because you may be asked in the paper to change the character set. So you've already got that line there for you. The title as well, I'm going to leave because I may be asked to add a title for my web page. The next step and the most important thing now is I need to save my web page. So go to File, Save As. I need to scroll to go and find my page. So I've got my folder here, J2431. Here's the folder inside which I've created, and I'm going to call that Splendid. Okay, so that'll be Splendid HTML as it said, and click on Save. Okay, so let's go have a look at this table that we need to create. This page must be created using a single table and working with browsers. The table must fit 85% of the browser window and have a structure as shown in this diagram. So the structure that we can see here, remember the golden rule, even if it's easy to figure out just by looking at it, just extend these lines, and that way you can see exactly how many rows and columns you're going to need to create this table. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and 2 columns. That's going to help me generate the table exactly as is. Now, this first row here is going to be 20% height. This one here is going to be 60% width. Each table cell is identified with a letter. The cell contents shown in the diagram must not appear on the final page. Table borders must not appear on the final web. Okay, so let's go over to Expression Web and we can create this table. So first thing is I'm going to click inside the WYSIWYG area down here. That's just going to make sure my insertion point is in the body area here. And I'm going to insert the table. Now, easy way to insert the table. I mean, you've got a table menu at the top, and you can go to Insert Table. You've also got inside this toolbar or ribbon, as I call them, you've got the Insert Table button here. So it really doesn't matter. And you can just click and draw like this. Click 5x2. You can also, if I go to more options, it will open up this dialog box for you. And this is really useful because you've got a few more options, so it will just save you time on the setup. So rows, I want 5. Columns, I want 2. The alignment, it doesn't say anything about the alignment inside the cells yet. I'm not going to, this is in percent, so I want this to be 85%. So if I wanted that in pixels, I'll do pixels. I want this 85% of the window. Cell padding and cell spacing, didn't say anything. I'm just going to leave the default there. And then I want borders. I'm just going to change that. I don't want 1. I'm going to leave that to 0 because I don't want any borders. And I'm going to click on OK, and we should see all of that information there. So we can see here I've got style. The width here is 85%. I've got my table structure. Perfect. And these dotted lines in the table basically means that there's no border. Now, the next step that I want to do is to merge some of these cells. And this is where I'm going to use some more toolbars. I'm going to right click up here. I'm going to put the tables toolbar here. So there you go. While I'm in the table, you can see a lot of these buttons are enabled. And it just gives me quick access to different things. It's easier to use. So the first thing is I'm going to merge these top 2 cells here. Here's my merge cells button. Click on that. I need to merge these 2 here. Another way to merge is I can right click, modify merge cells, and I'm just going to do the same with this one here. I'm just going to use a shortcut up here. Okay, so the next step that I'm going to do is I need to set the dimensions. So I want this first one up here to be 20%. I can see that I've already got inside this TD. It's got a col span 2, correct? It's also got an inline style here, height 23 pixels. I could use this and change that height to 20%. But if I didn't have that already, I could, and this is why I really like using the stars. So if I just delete that, let's say that didn't exist, I could simply, by being inside this TD, over here in the tag properties, I can see now there's different ways that you can view these. So you're going to adjust these as you like. I prefer this one here, which shows the tag properties, the categorized list first. Okay, then you've got the alphabetical order. I like this one. So from here, I could just go to the height and type in 20% and then enter, and there we go. I've now got an inline style here. It doesn't have to have the word style equals to be an inline style. This is an attribute which is modifying this tag. So it's style, so it's modifying that tag. It's an inline style anyway. So that's height 20%. The next one is I want this one here to be width 60%. And the same way, by clicking in here, I can go to my tag properties over here, and I can see here in the width at the bottom, I could change that to 60% and press enter, and that will make that 60%. Okay. Okay, so next step, let's go to the question paper. The next step, it says set the title of the web page to Splendid Toadfish. So we'll just select that, go back. And remember, we left these things, these headers, the meta tags at the top. So here's my title. I'm going to change it from Untitled 1 and paste that there. And I'm also going to do a quick save. Click on save. Remember, it's always important to keep saving your work. Whenever you do something, save it. We're going to go to here, enter in cell A, the text, that. So cell A is that top one. And then in cell C, which is that one there, we're going to enter that text, and we're going to set both A and C as style H1. Okay, so let's jump over here. So up here, I'm just going to use the arrow button to move up one. There I am. I'm going to press paste there. I'm going to copy the other text that I want in C as well, which is going to be in there. Splendid toadfish. And then from here, I want that and that to be set as heading 1. So I'm just going to click inside here. At the top, we've got here our styles. So I'm going to choose heading 1 there, click in here and choose heading 1 there as well. Great, that's A and C. Let's go to number 14. Enter in cell G the text created by, followed by your name, center number, and candidate number. Now, again, be very careful when you're reading these things. It might say using a space, it might say using an underscore. You need to add all of those. And I also need that colon there. So I want this to go in cell G. Well, that's that last one there. So that's going to be in here. And I want to add there my name. CY127 center number and candidate number. And I need to set this as H2, style H2. So we're going to click up here and make that heading 2. Don't worry if it doesn't fit or if it's a text wrapping, that's absolutely fine. That's what they told you to do. So we move on. Next, number 15, place in cell B this picture, D this picture, and F this picture. Okay. Add appropriate alternate text to all images. Okay, so here I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Mark Hamilton. He actually gave me this tip. He actually teaches this course, and he does use Expression Web and did give a nice little tip on something that he actually reminds his students to do all the time. So I'm gonna put this in. So if this helps you out, I kind of like it. I do like this little tip. So here we go. So you've got up here your site menu. So if you go to site and open site, you can go and find the site where you've got all of your files. And this makes it really easy to add files into your web page. So if I go to where I've got everything, there's my folder. I'm going to click on open and click open. And now you can see I've got this other tab here where I've got my site. And these are all the files. So I don't need to keep going back to a file explorer so that I can go and find the files and drag them in and open them and so on. So I've got everything that I need here and I can simply drag and drop from here. So let's see how we're going to do this. So in cell B, that's the big one with the 60%, we want to put the Splendid J2431 splendid.jpg. So if I go from here, J2431 splendid.jpg. So here it is, J2431 splendid.jpg. So I'm going to click, hold, drag. I'm going to drag this over there and then drag it on top of that tab so it opens my page. And then can you see it actually, the cursor follows me. So this is where I want to drop this picture. I'm just going to let go of that. And now if I look at the source of this, we can see that the source is just the picture name, which means that the picture is in the same folder as where my web page is saved. So this works really well, actually. That's kind of great. So that's that done. I need to give this alternate text as well. So by double clicking on the picture, I get this dialog box and alternate text. I'm just going to put image of a splendid toad fish. Click OK. Now, if you wanted to put a hyperlink to this image, you've got that here. I'm going to click on OK there. And then on D, I want to add, that's underneath the text, I want to add the picture of contact. So that's going to be here in this cell here. So again, I can go to my site view, get contact. It's actually really easy to do this way. It's a matter of drag and drop. There we go. And then I'm just going to double click on that and just put here alternate text, image of contact button. Click OK. And then in F, second from the bottom one there, I'm going to put the location. So again, I want that down here. So go to site view, here's location, click drag, go over here, and I can simply drop that in there, double click, and I'm going to just call that image of a location button. Click OK. So I've added the images, and yeah, this site view here is actually really cool because and we're going to see it, but we're going to add the text as well, because you don't have to leave expression web. You don't have to keep going backwards and forwards. So thank you very much for that tip, Mark. I do actually like it, and we'll be including it. So let's move on. It actually now says, so we've done 16. Place in cell E the text from J2431.text. Set each of these 3 paragraphs into paragraph style. So that's where we're going to use our site viewer again. So I can go to the site viewer, and I want J2431 text. Here it goes. I'm going to double click on this. Now check this out. If I double click on it, it actually opens it up here for me. So again, this is really great because I don't have to be going backwards and forwards. So I'm going to select that text. I'm going to go Control C, go to my web page, and I want to put this in E. E is that big one at the bottom here, down here. So I'm going to paste that there. There are the 3 paragraphs, and I want all of these to be paragraph style. So I'm going to select that text and just put it to the P tag. Now you're going to say it doesn't make any difference. You're right. It's going the default is going to be paragraph, but by setting it as a P tag, it will be affected by any external, internal styles which I apply, which have a P tag in there. So I can now move on. In fact, why don't we just go have a quick look and see what this looks like? So if I open this up and open this page, there we go. Okay, so I can see I've got 80% of my page. My buttons are there. These are H2. Those are H1. Got my paragraph style, so that's good. Let's just leave that there so we can keep refreshing that when we need to. Okay, back to our question paper. So we are down to here. We've added that text number 18. Attach the style sheet J2431.style.css to your web page. Do not edit this style sheet. Okay, so let's go back. Now, I'm going to get rid of this table thing from here. And now I basically want to attach a style sheet. So if I go over here, boom, here you go. I've got my manage styles is here. I've got attached style sheet actually has that text. This is what I do like, having the manage styles open. But I've also got this button here in this toolbar that I always have open anyway. But I'm just going to click on that. I'm going to browse. It's going to open up the default folder where all my files are, J2431 styles. Double click on that, click OK, and it's applied my style. So if I just do a Control S to save and reload this page, there we go, that style has been applied. Perfect. Okay, now we need to create a new style sheet so we'll go through this quickly and then I will create the style sheet. The file J2431 logo PNG is placed as a single background image in the top left corner of the window. The table is right aligned within the browser window, so it has to be aligned to the right, and the background image is going to be on the left. H1 and H2 and paragraph style use this font. So here we need to use, put those fonts together in the style sheet. And then I want H1 and H2 and the paragraph style are bold. So that's all going to be together. Okay, this is going to be efficient programming techniques. The paragraph style is fully justified. So that's going to be the P tag. And your name, center number, and candidate number are set as a comment at the top of the style sheet. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, so from here, I need to create a new CSS. So I'm going to go to File, New. And from here, I'm going to choose CSS. And here is my CSS. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. So if I just look at the question paper, I know the save hasn't come yet, but it says, save this style sheet in the J2431 folder, cascading style sheet format as J2431 CSS2 underscore, followed by your name, followed by your center number, underscore candidate number. So it doesn't want your name. And that's an example. So I'm going to go do that now because I like to save first. So File, Save As. I'm in the correct folder. There we go. And CY127 underscore 1234. Save. It's always good to make sure you save your file first. It saves otherwise, if you are linking to images and this, that, the other from a HTML page, especially, which you haven't saved yet, it's going to create relative references, and that's not really good. So, well, actually, absolute references to certain points on your computer, and that's going to usually cause problems. It also make your code a bit messy as well. So always save the file that you're going to be working on first. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is to create a new style. So I'm going to click on New Style. Now, the selector type, I don't want to create a class, a .new style class here. I'm going to use the body tag. That's that's basically the properties for the background of the page. So I'm going to go to the body tag here. I'm going to go to background. I'm going to add my image. So I'm going to go to browse. From here, it should open the page where the folder where I've got all my files. Here's my logo. Double click on that. Now, automatically, you can see I've got a repeat down here. I don't want to repeat, so I want no repeat. And I want the position to be on the left. By default, it puts it on the left, but because it specifically said it should be on the left, I need to make sure it is. So my X background position, that's the horizontal position, and the Y is the vertical. And I'm just going to choose here. You've got some nice selections here, left. You could work with percentages, 0% or 100% to put it on the right, but I'm just going to leave that because you've got left and right here already. And that's it. So I'm going to click on Apply and click OK. So here's what they're going to be looking for when they get the code. The background image, the background repeat is no repeat, and background position is left. Okay, the next part is the table is right aligned within the browser window. So that's going to be the table tag. So I'm going to create a new style. Again, I'm going to go here. I'm going to choose the table tag. Let's go down to T. Okay. And then from here, I want to set the margins. Now I want here the table is right aligned. So my table is 85% width. That's essentially what we were given here in the question paper. So if we look here, up here, it said that the table is going to be 85% of the browser window. If I want my page, my table to be right aligned, then what I need to do is I need 15% margin on the left, which will push my table over to the right. So to do that, I'm going to go to the block section here. Oh, actually, where is it? Box. There we go. And I've got my margins here. I don't want same for all. I want my left margin to be 15%. Click Apply. And let's just see if this works. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to apply this and see if it works is if I attach this style sheet to my page, which I'm going to have to do anyway, because it does tell me to attach my style sheet. So I'm just going to do a quick save. I'm going to go to my web page and I'm going to click after this link here. So this line here, this is the first style sheet which I added. Now, if I jump over to my question paper, it says here, attach the new style sheet that we made so that it has higher priority. Now, higher priority means it has to come after the first style sheet, because the highest priority are the things which come last when it comes to cascading style sheets and when it comes to coding which is sequential. So the first thing happens and then they calls for the next one which will have priority. So again, from here, I'm going to go and attach my style sheet from here. So let me just click in my web page. There we go. And there's my style. I'm going to click here. I'm going to use this button this time, attach, browse, and I'm going to add this style here. Click OK. Now we can see that our image here is there on the left. Oh, hang on, let's go have a look. Let's just do a quick save. And if I refresh this, now we can see it's on the left, but it's in the middle. We want this top left. So that means we do have to also apply the Y dimension as well. So let's go do that quickly. So from here, where I've got here my left, it's just right click on that, modify the style. And then from here where I've got the background, I'm also going to put the Y position top. Okay, so that's top left. Apply, okay. Let's do Control S to save. And now if I reload this page, there we go. That's on the top left. My page is towards the right, and that all looks good. So the next part is to modify or create the style for H1, H2, and the paragraph style. And it says it should be a Times font. If that's not available, Times New Roman. And if that's not available, the default serif font. So I'm just going to create a new style. What I normally do is just click down here, click on New Style, and I'm just going to create the heading 1 and simply add the other ones afterwards. Okay, so for the font, I want the font family. I'm just going to choose a random font family, usually one which is the same style. So I want something with Times New Roman in there. It doesn't say anything about the size or whatever, so I'm just going to click on OK. And here, H1 font family, I want to have Times, so I'm just going to leave the Times there. So it says Times New Roman in speech marks because this name has got spaces. And then serif. Oh, so that, there you go, that's perfect. And it also, so I want that for H1, H2, and P. So I'm just going to click here, comma, H2, comma, P. Okay, so that's for all of those. And then it also says, so I've done that part there. H1, H2, and P have a paragraph style are bold. So I could have done that straight away, but I didn't. So I'm going to right click on this, go to modify style. From here, there you go. I'm on the font and I want the font weight to be bold. Again, you should have a look at all of these so that you're familiar where all the different styles are. I get confused sometimes because I work both Dreamweaver and Expression Web now. So, but if you just have a look around, you will find what you're looking for. Click on OK, and there's my font weight bold. So I don't need to do anything there. Let's go back. So I've done that and that and that. And now I want my name, center number, and candidate number are set as a comment at the top of the style sheet. Now they were a bit mean here because they want you to add this as a comment at the top. I'm going to tell you why it's mean in a second. So if I just move down, so essentially, if you can remember, you can put the slash star and then your comment, sorry, star asterisk, and then you're going to put your details, name, your name, center number, candidate. So and the reason why I say this is cool is because if you forget to close the star and the slash like this, then it's going to read all of, if I had that, it's going to read all of this as text, as a comment. And your style sheet basically doesn't work. So that was a bit mean. Usually they will put the comments at the bottom where it really doesn't matter, like this. So if I put this here and leave that open, that's fine because anything that follows that comment will not be, is going to be a comment, but my code at the top is okay. Now, if you can't remember how to put the slash and the star, there is another way to do this. You can right click up here again and you could choose the code view. And in the code view, you've got this button here, insert CSS comment. So I put my insertion point where I want. By clicking on this, it's going to put the slash star and the star slash. So it's going to open and close the comment and you simply type in the middle. Okay, so that will help you so that you don't forget to put that star slash at the end. I'm just going to click on save there. And that's basically it. If I just go and reload my page over here, let's just see what that's looking like. There we go. So my text has changed as it's going into that Times New Roman font and everything looks okay. Good. Let's now move over to our question paper. So we've done the style sheet. We have no HTML scripting in there. We've saved the style sheet already, and we have also attached it. And as I said, it's always good to save with the correct file and attach it straight away so that you can test it while you're working. Take a screenshot of your style sheet and place this in your evidence document. Make sure that the file name and contents are clearly visible. So this is going to be a screenshot, basic screenshot here. So I'm just going to click on this, new, and I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And I can put that in my evidence document. Again, I'm not going to focus too much on this. I've already done this in the previous tutorial. So it's basically exactly the same thing. Now here, save your web page, take a copy of your HTML source and place this in your evidence document, and then display your web page in the browser. If necessary, resize it so that all the page can be seen, all text can be easily read, and the address bar is fully visible. Take a screenshot evidence. And then the printing. So let's just go do that evidence quickly. So from here, I'm going to simply click up here, Control A to select all of that text, Control C, go to my web page, go to my evidence document. I'm going to paste it there. Now, again, I say this again and again and again. You are ICT students, so don't leave this with double line spacing. Select it and do format it. You have learned how to do this. So that just makes it a whole lot easier, and you can move all of your code down to one page. Usually it should fit in one page. If it doesn't, that's fine. Okay, see, my one doesn't there, but I can get rid of some of that extra spacing if I wanted to. But that's fine. That makes it easier. The next screenshot I want is going to be, so let's just take that down, a screenshot from my browser window. And I'm going to show you what you need to show here. So everything you've been asked to do, you have to show. Okay, that's important. This page here, as you can see, is absolutely fine because it shows everything over here on the right. It's got my picture over there, my background logo over on the left. The text is readable and everything. But if I wanted to make it a bit easier to read or whatever, I could. If I wanted to make it a smaller one, I can just do that. Now, again, what I want to show here, and I'm just going to maximize this now and use all of that window, is this. What you need to show in your screenshot and what needs to be very clearly visible are the borders. So I'll highlight all of this now. I'll put this here. This is what you're looking for. This is what the examiners are looking for. So with the red pen, they need to be able to see that file name there. They need to be able to see that you've got the 15% here on that alignment and that your table, all of this is aligned to the right. They need to be able to see that as well. Okay. They also need to be able to see the whole page, nothing being cut off. This text should be reasonably readable. I say reasonably because when you print it might not be so reasonable, but you didn't type this, you simply aligned it and gave it a style, so it's center aligned. You should be able to see the information that you were asked to add, like your details, and you should be able to see the URL here. What you don't want to do is this. You don't want to do something like this, where you do not take the address bar, okay? Because now I can't see if that's a screenshot from my browser. That's not clear because I've removed the title bar and the address bar at the top. Okay, so I can now, let me just do that just so I'm complete. I'm going to take the whole browser window like that with the borders and paste that into my, let's go down to the next page, into here, and paste that there. I'm going to double click on that so that I can go to my picture format, put that as in front of text. That's easier. Just drag that over a little bit so I can make it just a little bit bigger, but just make sure that you can print all of it. Okay, and that's it. Okay, that was paper 3-1, June 2024, using Expression Web. Now, again, I'm going to say, if you want the whole tutorial, which includes a spreadsheet as well, you've got the description at the bottom of this video. The video description, there's a URL there, so you can download, well, actually, you can go and view that video to see the first part. And also from there, you're going to be able to download the resources for this paper so that you can practice this at home. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did learn something new, you know the drill. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and if you're taking your exam, good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.